The Australian Defence Force has been notoriously shy with the media in Afghanistan, preferring to give journalists limited access on a very tightly controlled basis. But ABC correspondent Tom Cooks was given extraordinary entree to a recent joint patrol by Australian and Afghan soldiers on a counter-insurgency mission in the southern Uruzgan province. As the patrol hunted for weapons caches and improvised explosives, it was caught up in a 3-day running battle with insurgents. Afghanistan has been the deadliest conflict for Australian troops since the Vietnam War, but this is believed to be the first time that any television journalist has recorded Australian troops in combat there. This report from Tom Cooks was commissioned for the ABC's Australia Network.
This is Patrol Base Atik in Afghanistan's southern Uruzgan province. A small group of Australian soldiers have been training, fighting and living here alongside their Afghan counterparts for the last 4 months. They're planning a mission to a series of villages that are still currently controlled by insurgents. Captain Mark Slavin is the head of the training team here, and he's been drilling his Afghan counterpart in how to develop a battle plan.
Separated in 3 parts, and the middle will be the A.
It's a job not without frustrations.
Early on, we would say, there's enemy in this location, and the Afghan company commander or platoon commander would say, great, I'll grab my blokes and we'll go and kill them. And we'd sort of say, well, how about a plan? And some of them didn't see a need for it. But over time, they did.
Just after dawn, we leave the patrol base and head out across the desert. For the next 4 days, we'll be camped on these stony hills inside a protective ring of armoured vehicles. And each morning, the troops fan out and march down into the village of Soklesh. A security perimeter is set up around each house as the soldiers search for weapons and improvised bombs. And within several hours, the first weapons cache is found, wrapped in an old school bag and buried under a wall. It's a couple of 100 rounds for a PKM machine gun and a long-range cordless telephone.
The PKM rounds are significant because they're not a type of round that can be used in anything except an automatic machine gun. Obviously got a belt as well. The only people that use these type of rounds are insurgents. The long-range telephone can be used for several uses. It could be used for communications, but it could also be used for using to detonate IEDs from considerable distances. So yeah, a good find in both areas.
As the troops move on to search the next compound, we're ambushed by insurgents. And rocket-propelled grenades come sailing towards us. The Australian ASLAV armoured vehicles still up on the hill can see who's shooting us, and they're already firing back.
RPG M16.
Sergeant Matt Lyons shouts at me to keep my head down.
Okay, we got engaged by 2 RPG rounds and small arms from a distance of about 200 metres airburst. It would seem at that stage that the 2 ASLAVs opened up with 25mm straight over the top of our head.
After a brief but intensive firefight, we march back through the poppy fields and withdraw back up the hill. Early on the second day of the patrol, we again march down the hills into the village and the search continues. The village is almost deserted, which is a bad sign. The few people we meet say they've been told by insurgents to clear out, as there's going to be a fight. And soon enough, we're ambushed again. This time, several RPGs land close to our position.
They're all on. Wee, that was a bit close. Stay there! I'm moving to you, mate! Stay there, I'll move to you!
One of the platoons has been pinned down by the insurgents, and the remaining troops have to work their way over to provide cover.
Run. Got back school, I'm doing a head count now. We're shooting.
During a lull in the firefight, Captain Slavin and an interpreter explained to the Afghan commander how the battle's progressing.
What we need to do is pick up 1 and 2 platoons.
Eventually the insurgents back off, and we withdraw up the hill. On the third day of the patrol, the troops are still surrounding and searching houses, but no more weapons have been found. But the coalition presence in the village has hit a raw nerve with the insurgents, and we're ambushed yet again. This is the third time in 3 days, but this time it's a serious coordinated attack.
They came from behind us.
We're now being shot at from the north, south and east simultaneously.
Hey, sir! We got troops here inside the koala engaging. Inside this koala, we got troops engaging that way. Engaging that way? Yep.
The Australian and Afghan troops keep pushing forward, but eventually Captain Slavin calls in an airstrike to prevent us from being boxed in.
Approval from 4-9. Want me to engage Tango 4-2 or 2-6 at...
An F-18, launched from an aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf, is going to drop a 500-pound bomb just a few hundred metres from our position. We're told to put our fingers in our ears and open our mouths so that our eardrums don't burst.
10 seconds.
Oh, there it is.
Well, we didn't get dressed up for nothing. There we go. Boy, bring it in. Start.
Let's go, guys.
The A&A. It's the labs. Right, that's the labs. Let's go. Organise your A&A. Let's get them ready to move. No.
The next day, while searching a house at the base of the hill, the troops find someone they believe was probably shooting at us yesterday. He protests his innocence. A loaded, recently fired AK-47 is found outside, stashed under some opium poppies. The suspect's hands are bound, and he'll be taken back to Taran Kout for questioning. Despite a 3-day running battle, the only coalition casualty is a minor head wound. But we don't know how many insurgents have been killed or injured in Sorklej during this patrol. And the area is still hostile ground for the coalition.
It is a key piece of terrain for the insurgents. There were reports of some key leadership in this area, and obviously they wanted to protect them quite heavily. The one thing that pleased me overall about the whole of that engagement was the fact that we managed to move forward continuously in the face of the enemy's action. And the A&A in particular, who can be difficult at times to manoeuvre under fire, performed very well.
And it's that slowly developing performance that the coalition has staked its hopes on for an eventual withdrawal from Afghanistan.
That remarkable report recorded by Tom Cooks in Afghanistan leaves absolutely no doubt about the kind of risks that Australian troops there are facing on a regular basis. A bit